Just I'm going to go and look inside myself. You should do the same. What part of you goes out of stillness? Think about either the drama, the emotions, the ego systems that make you go out of stillness. To be able to go back in stillness is useful. And stillness is not necessarily empty. When we do the vacuity meditation, we try to go into emptiness, we try to go in some state where there's nothing, but something is there. And as we contemplate it, it has a more realism threshold, or more sense of realism than this actual life here. So when you dream, you're convinced it's a dream. And when you wake up, how do you know you're not dreaming? Because there's more realism. Okay? The level of realism is more intense when we're physically awake than when we are in a dream. That's how you make the difference. So when you get to the experience of enlightenment, there's something that doesn't seem to be what our senses tell us of this world, but we perceive something that has even more realism. And when we go to vacuity of stillness, there's still something there. Now, the Vaishravana mantra, or the Vaishravana Dharani in this case, Dharani of protection of heavenly king Vaishravana. Okay? Vai means a lot, or completely. Actually, it's unlimited, or we would say a vast. Okay, vastly, to do it a lot in a greatly fashion. Okay, Vai Shravana is to listen. So Vaishravana is to listen well, but listen in a vast and higher fashion. What is to listen in a vast, higher level, higher fashion? It is to pay attention, if you would consider. Pay attention to your human nature as much as a soul, and if you perceive it as much as yourself as God, as much as everything, in the supreme a lot fashion. Hyper-awareness in an exponential experience. Philosophy. Vaishravana is one of the 4 heavenly kings. It means he who hears everything, indicating his relation to sound. He is the Lord of Yakshas, commanding them. So what is Yakshas? Yakshas are the nature spirits that protect treasures, and they also protect righteous, those who act with virtue. The Yakshas are what the Japanese would call Tengu, what we would call in Western occultism elemental spirits, fairies, gnomes, undines, sylphids, salamanders, and stuff like that. Okay. So Yakshas are not Nagarajas. Nagarajas are the universal natural forces of what constitutes the world and how the world operates. Yakshas are the more localized pocket experiences. Okay. So the Yakshas are natural spirits that protect what has value. So if they don't see people with value, they'll go seek out stuff with value to them. What are the treasures of nature? They are the source of water, allowing sunshine to shine where it should, trying to get some shadow where it should, but I mean, that's just a natural process. Caretakers of the plants, okay? And there's this useless rock called gold they don't really care about. Okay? Treasures of nature, not treasures of men. Okay? So, of course, Yakshas take care of treasures, so we're going to invoke them, hoping to get gold, and say, ah, what? You want rock? Oh, you want the transparent rocks? Oh, we found no use for them. Just actually, they also take care of gems because they circulate the energy there. There are all these spirits taking care of nature, okay? Elemental spirits. So if you have a treasure in your heart, mind, and body, then the Yakshas will obey to the roar or the sound of Vaishravana and protect you. This Dharani has a relation to the treasure tower emerging from the earth found in Lotus Sutra chapter 16 that signifies those who take refuge in the teachings, in the Dharma. The force invoked by this Dharani could be interpreted as such. Tower, tangible tower, immediate tangible tower, silent yet roaring thunder, deteriorating sound. The honored sound is the sound of dharma, or wisdom, knowledge, and law. It protects its bearers and deteriorates all other types of incorrect knowledge or structure. The non-roaring thunder is like the continuous humming sound of dharma emanating from the tower. It does not sound, yet it resonates. So the unheard sound is not sound, but it resonates in sound. Okay? The Pradhana Sura mantra with the Jvale Mahajvale will go and burn away the miasma that are more of, let's say, an emotional nature, which is not strictly only the emotional part of the experience. But I would say that emotional is the best way to describe them there. What feels, but also there's mind that feels, there's body that feels, there's will that feels, whatever is felt, but in all planes, okay? The Mahajvali will affect it more, the feeling, putting fire on that condensed feeling that was denied and caused miasma. When ectoplasm becomes miasma, it means the taste is very dark. As opposed to the Vaishravana mantra, about sound, and sound is more about mind. We speak, it's about sound that we understand, referring to voice, referring to understanding, so thought. So the body thinks, the body doesn't think like the intellect, but it has a thought existence. The will is thought. There's thinking in the emotional plane, and there's thinking, of course, in the mental plane, as much as there's feeling in the emotional plane. And there's feeling in mental plane. Okay? So the thinking aspect, what is this thinking aspect? It is conditioning. So if in the original blueprint we are not meant to have conditioning that hinder us, this mantra will try to free us of that. Okay? So it's freedom of structures. I know that you will be transcendental here. A combination of the power increasing, the roaring sound is already affecting you, and you just ate. We have to also consider the natural things. But you ate a while ago, and after half an hour you should be good. But anyway, let's try to be here. Let's try not to transcend. Okay? If you go transcendental, don't cut away your human senses. Stretch instead of elevating. Okay? Atte, the bija a, is the presence. We refer to the abdomen, but usually, a is everywhere. It's the presence. It's very there. Double T means the structures. T is structure. Double T is all the combined structures, all the systems. One T would be a structure, many T's would be systems, architectures instead of just structures. It's all the combinations of these forms. Okay, I know it's hard to be here. Remember, if you want to stay here and stop transcending, press the inside of your thumb and index right here. Just la 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 la. Find the point that hurts, go gently. Find the point that hurts, go gently. Try to, okay, next thing to stay here on the side here of thighs. You have a place that is sensitive. Find yours. Okay, got one. Contract the anus, relax the anus. Contract the anus, relax the anus. Okay, and you see, you're more here. Okay? Anus, close to the base chakra, actually has your entire rectum muscle elevating complex. Pubococcygean area, all of this that goes for your kundalini, your resistance to the embodiment process. That's why you transcend as elevation instead of transcending as stretching. Okay, thank you for this little parenthesis. Try to be here. Okay, drink water, it helps. What did you learn with Maha? Oh well. One night he cuts me with a knife, and then the other one he's telling us to contract our anus. Out of context, doesn't feel wise. Duality is those structures, these very complex systems, conditioning, what keeps us in place, what holds us, okay? So, a T, like a cross, would be two and two, okay? Self-sustained separation. Two is duality. Two combined, two and two makes self-sustained duality. It's a system of staying in denial or staying structured, organized, to not go just zap back in oneness, which is very wise. Okay, it's wonderful to be able to appreciate how God created everything, how the universal consciousness densified itself by isolating components from others. So the feeling of oneness, of course, we want it back. It doesn't mean that we want to destroy separation. It means we want to be free of separation, to go in a state of oneness when we want, but separation is considered also a blessing because it's what allowed creation as a whole. Okay? So, ate, the presence of those structures that you are conscious of. Okay? So, to command something to become organized. As a verb, ate means tower. The verb tower. Okay? So, well, dictionary-wise, doesn't make sense. But if you go in the feeling, the concepts, to tower something is to take it and elevate and make it that very strong and fixed mind. Okay? But the mind of all nature, the mind of body, of will, of feeling, and of thought, and then your soul goes in there and the wisdom already starts to resonate. It's the one thing to go back to fixed point, but not the fixity of vacuity, the fixity of presence. Okay? So the verb tower, or to provoke a tower to appear, that's when we don't have the initiation. When we have the initiation, we feel it's the getting in. This structure will not be some kind of weird labyrinth. It will be one held bar. And within, you know, there's something to climb at the top. Okay? Ate, nate, we add the N, bija, of tangibility. But it's not just the tangibility of physicality. It can be tangible in your mind. What is tangible in your mind? It is something objective. Okay? It's something concrete. A tangible thought is something concrete and obvious, as opposed to a M thought, which is an abstract concept you have difficulty to grasp. An N thought is concrete. An N feeling, something you have identified and you really get it. Instead of this real feeling of being lost. And you go, you know, an M feeling would be when you sit on a chair, you know, and it just starts to go back and you're afraid to fall. You can try to get back in and then you just lose it and start to fall back again. I feel like that all the time. So that would be an M feeling. Okay, an N feeling is like, oh, I feel here, not there. Okay? Nu nate. Nu means now or immediate. It doesn't mean now, but it does mean something occurring now. It's a particle that we say that is immediate or constant, but I want to make you think out of the idea of time. It's not the immediate in the sense that in time it arrives there. It's the immediate in the sense that you don't care about anything else, that what is just going on right now. Okay? So it's not the immediate or the right now in terms of time, but in terms of the only thing that exists anyway. Okay? And you, nu, would be the objective feeling, the right now feeling, the present, the only thing existing right now. Okay? So it's not about time at all. It's about forgetting there's an actual time. There's no time. You know, past does not exist. Future does not exist. Whatever happened in the past, it was now when it happened. Okay? And whatever will happen in the future will be now when it will happen. And everything is nostalgia and expectations. Okay? Attachment to old stuff and insecurity about what's going to happen will just pull you out of the new experience. Right there. So it's not the stuff happening just now, it's also the stuff happening there, but not there locally. Not there like in here. They're in, I don't really care what's going on elsewhere anyway. And they're really present here and now, but it's non-time, non-locality here and now. Okay? It's philosophical, it's Zen a bit, it's hard to grasp. It's also about no mind, while very objective here. So that's that treasure tower from the 16th chapter of Lotus Sutra. You read that a few times, did you? So, ate, nate, nunate is this structure, this objective structure that I feel exists embodied now. It just gets you to go from everywhere, and your mind go crazy to go, okay? Because you know, you've learned how to pay attention correctly. So Vaishravana means to pay attention correctly, to hear everything, to be aware at every level. You know, one who hears everything, the hearer of all sounds, is one that pays attention to all planes simultaneously as a single thing. So it's when you practice breathe, inhabit, feel, and observe, that are 4 states, you get to the point that it's just one experience of consciousness here. Because the feelings and the thoughts and the will and the body is not separated. It's one body. We have only one body. Okay? It's the soul. But it ranges from physicality to up to creator in Vajra. Okay? So ate, nate, nunate is that feeling of structure. To go in that present state of being directed. So if fixity is just on a point, the Vaishravana experience would be that, but as a line going upwards. And this line is not outside of you, it's you. It's the coming back in well order. Like all that is crunched and chaotic and erratic in your structure, you just go back aligned on your blueprint, aligned on yourself as a soul, as Atma. Just these 3 first words in that fashion. Ate, nate, nunate, 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 ate, nate, nunate. Ate nate nunate, ate nate nunate, ate nate nunate. You can feel the pull on your mind, your emotion, your will, and your body to just go in one instance of rectified self. This will also help you stop being a labyrinth of your own. Self-contained labyrinth with no exits. Which is useless actually, but that's what we are. You know, I'm trying to get out of the labyrinth now. You have to observe yourself. I am the labyrinth. And then you reorganize as a tower. Got it? You feel your base chakra aligned, third eye, and everything opens up. Some of you, okay. Anada. Okay. Nada is a roar. Roar. Rawr, okay? Okay. While there is nothing to produce that roar. Okay? So it's the unheard roaring. So the sound that is not unheard, okay? Forgive me. The sound that is unheard is not the unheard version of la 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 la. It's not that. It's the sound of rawr, you know. Imagine the deep Sauron style, you know, in Lord of the Rings when he goes with, okay, that's the kind of sound that I feel a humming of the earth, like the crushing of all rocks on themselves and magnetic pressure, and this power of earth that is the form of things nada, the form of things, or things shaped. Okay, naga is those natural forces moving. Nada is those natural force, shape, or form that you can hear as a sound. So nada, it's not a nada, it's a nada. It's a small a. A nada is the unsound, the unroar that goes, that you would use your sci-fi imagination again. And thanks to the movies, we have a lot of sample sounds in our head to go deep. But don't fake it and don't put too much. Just feel that constant humming of all reality on itself. Okay. A nada. So while it is a non-roar, nade, it roars. Okay? A nada, the nade is the verb to roar. Okay? So the non-sound roars, the unheard roaring is roaring. Okay? It's growling. Okay? A nada, nade, ku nadi. Now, ku is to deteriorate. It's the impact. It's to feel an impact. U is the experience, K is impact or shock. So, to feel an impact. Kunadi is to be deteriorated by that sound. So that sound vibrates like an ultrasound and infrasound to the point that structures that are not held by consciousness of self will just fall. So with ate nate nunate, we're focused on the official structure of self as a tower, well seated in the ground, even floors below, very well erected, filled with jewels, open to the sun, the stars at night, and the universe as a whole. Gaze at the moon, gaze at the sun, gaze at the stars. Well seated in the earth. Okay, very here and now. So that's what keeps us in focus, and that is like the thought level of being the blueprint of what is the original perfection meant for us as Buddha, as Christ. Then we will feel the dharma resonating so strongly that it will cause the destruction of what is not meant. Okay? And how can you do this? You master the art of observation. So that was Buddha's way of getting us to look at our mind to free ourselves from the wrong conditioning, while the good thought process would be held by self perfectly. Okay? Gently paying attention. So all these negative thoughts, you know, sometimes you feel, ooh, there's goo, Mahavali. I keep thinking all wrong and I have these bad thoughts and feelings, but you know, it's like in my mind getting crazy. Vaishravana Dharani, about the thoughts in the mind, okay? So go in that, it's a well erected structure. It's the perfect assembly of jewels, one upon the others. The rocks of that towers are all about the 12 jewels, and well, some call them the 8 jewels in Buddhism. 12 jewels were Kabbalistic. I'm sorry, I mixed my traditions. Anyway, it's like sapphire and ruby and amethyst and all this stuff that you so much love about jewels. Okay, just look at Mary's arms and you'll understand what I mean. It's like 25 bracelets on each, which she loves, which is a blessing. It's like carrying your tower on her wrist. So your tower is that divine consciousness gazing gently, and you summon it. And as this tower is erected, it starts to vibrate, and that sound would go wah, and would just go destroy everything that's not perfection. Now, perfection can be the beauty of chaos, the artistic creation of a gaze. It can be wonderful, okay? So let your soul decide what is perfection. Just let go. Be affected by that fixed, unheard dharma sound. symbol of the tower rising from the earth, all perfectly created by jewels. Atenate nunate anadanade kunadi. 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 Pay attention here. Look at your base chakra, look at your body. Gaze on the base. And allow the structure to rise how it wishes. Don't control. You are Vaishravana, paying attention to nature and all the natural spirits inside you as around are obeying the self, the soul, the Atma. Don't control. Don't think the structure. Let it happen and just stay here. And let this nature boil. Those who learn about the cauldron. Just let the nature naturally just rearrange itself. Give it time. Be patient. Atenate nunate anadanade kunadi. 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 Eyes closed or gazing downwards. Stay focused on the idea of nature, of physical plane, allowing that structure to just be, to rectify you, to get you straight, and to free you. While that hyper sound eroding the useless negative thoughts. Frighten the Yakshas, frighten the Dengus, the elementals that would just carry miasma. And attract those who carry light and love and compassion for nature. Again. Ate
Nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi. Ate nate nunate anada nade kunadi.
Relax and let go. Empty your mind. Allow yourself to be affected by the rectification, the straightening up, the purification, the release of obsolete thinking, freedom of systems. Those who are still transcending. Still didn't work. Okay, he's back. Profoundly elevating experience. Can you feel the vibration in your flesh, in your body, in your mind, your heart, your will, and everything is just going. And every atom, is resonating with that sound. You feel it, excitingly powerful. Enjoying that? But remember, when it's about clarifying feeling, the Pradhanasura of the Mahashvali will be very useful. And it's about mind, Vaishravana Dharani. What I like to call the Nunate, because the Ate Dharani doesn't mean anything. And of course you'll understand more what is natural force if you learn how to pay attention to them. Next, Dharani. In 10 minutes. We need to move around and stretch a leg.